You know how we do it on the program every weekday. We review some of the headlines that made it through to the Nigerian dailies on a daily basis rather, on a daily basis from the hours of 7 till around 8 a.m. on this dial, omoluwabi, it is 7.7 FM. And then this morning is not going to be an exemption because we are ready and set to give out some of the headlines and then analyze some of them and then review them together. Yes, when we say together, that means you also get to be a part of the program when the time comes. We open the phone lines and then you join us live on Facebook to drop your comment as regards some of the things we'll be discussing on the show this morning. It promises to be an exciting and interesting time on radio this morning because it's like it's used to be. It's always an informative time and it's always an educative time on radio. My name is Oluwatayo Ajiwole and I'm reporting for duty today, the 16th day in the month of September 2024. You're welcome on board to the program Newslands right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. All right, you're welcome. It's still Newslands right here on omoluwabi 7.7 FM. We will be checking some headlines this morning, and then after which we come back and for the analysis and the review of some of these headlines, and then you also get to be a part of the conversation this morning. All right, this morning I have the Nigerian Tribune, Vanguard newspaper, and I also have the Guardian and of course the Punch newspaper this morning. And then just before we go, let me wish our Muslim faithful happy Eid Malud this morning. It's a public holiday, like I didn't know, I forgot. My student manager reminded me now that it's a public holiday, and it's happy. It's Eid Malud Day, and then we are wishing all our Muslim faithful happy Eid Malud this morning. It's going to be a blessed one for all of us. All right, let's start with the headlines this morning. The Nigerian Tribune says with the banner headline: Edo PDP APC biker over alleged planned removal of Obaseki security. This one says Anyoku, international community watching INEC, others. And then this one says any manipulation will cause exodus of Nigerians to Europe. That's coming from PDP. Wants EU to prevail on INEC, others to respect will of electorates. Full details of that story is on page 22 and page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And we have this one still from the Nigerian Tribune saying Nigerians continue to lament high cost of cooking gas. Interesting one there. So that story is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. We purchased petrol from Dangote at 98 naira per litre. NNPCS speaking there. Your quoted price incorrect. Dangote refinery responding and to NNPC there. That story is on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And then we have this one saying federal government's $900 million bond. Naira strengthens FX reserves up by $620 million in 10 years. Yeah, that story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And then we still have this one, still about the Maiduguri flood, saying NCOs declares 281 inmates missing. Talking about the Nigerian Correctional Services, they're saying 281 prisoners are missing. And UN team arrives Borno on assessment visits. Atiku in Maiduguri donates 100 million naira to victims. And we have this one saying NAF airlifts aids to flood its Maiduguri residents. And this one says Nigeria received 50 tons of relief materials from the UAE. You can get full details of that story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Ekiti to spend 15 billion naira on construction of Ado-Iworoko-Ifaki Federal Road. Ekiti to spend 15 billion naira on construction of Ado-Iworoko-Ifaki Federal Road. That story is on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Survivors of Uniben building collapse recounts ordeal. That story is on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Now we have this one saying implementation of e-call up system on Lekki-Ekpe corridor begins. Implementation of e-call up system on Lekki-Ekpe corridor begins. You can get full details of that story on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. This one says FG begins nationwide distribution of CNG conversion kits. Federal government begins nationwide distribution of CNG conversion kits. That story is on page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune, and that's all we have from the Nigerian Tribune this Monday morning. right, let's check the Vanguard newspaper this morning with this one as a banner headline on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper saying petrol supply, NNPCL, Dangote refinery disagree over pricing. And then there's a lot of rider here on the front page of the Guardian newspaper saying that 898 naira per liter based on crude imported in dollars. That's Dangote. NNPC lifts 16.8 million liters out of 25 million. Independent marketers feel left out. We are lifting 16.8 million liters at 898 naira per liter. NNPC speaking there. NNPC's portal closure denies us access to Dangote petrol. That's oil marketers speaking there. We look forward to lifting if price is right. That's coming from depot owners and then Dangote refinery to meet domestic demand. Experts speaking there. And we have this one saying Dangote refinery petrol supply to NNPCL will determine queues. That's coming from Otedola. And then Lagos State government begins implementation of e-call up on Lekki Ekpe Port Corridor. Can get full details of all of those stories on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And still from the Vanguard newspaper, we have this one saying Serap sues Tinubu over petrol price hike. NNPCL's probe. That story is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we have this one saying Edo Ondo Post, the world is watching. Edo Ondo Post, the world's watching us. And Yoko speaking. That full details of that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Eid Malud, Tinubu, Akpabio, Abbas, governors, PDP, Glo, preach selflessness. Eid Malud, Tinubu, Akpabio, Abbas, governors, PDP, Glo, preach selflessness. Full details of that story is on page 35 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Maiduguri flooding, FG unveils identity of 281 fleeing inmates, recaptures 7. Maiduguri flooding, FG unveils identity of 281 fleeing inmates, recaptures 7. Full details of that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we have this one saying FG delivers 1,200 CNG kits to 5 states. FG delivers 1,200 CNG kits to 5 states. Full details of that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we have this one, still from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Nenadi Usman has integrity to lead Labour Party. Nenadi Usman has integrity to lead Labour Party. That's coming from NLC. Full details of that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And still from the Vanguard newspaper, we have this one saying Obi slams presidency over attempt to divert attention with U.S. polls. Obi slams presidency over attempt to divert attention with U.S. polls. More details of that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now we have this one saying Dangote refinery flags off lifting of PMS. You can see the picture of some executive and delegate of the federal government here on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And then this one is saying that the Sport Corner saying Ethiopia Premier League new haven for NPFL stars. That story is on page 37 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. That's all we have from the Vanguard newspaper. Very quickly, let's check the Guardian newspaper this morning. With this one as a banner headline saying confusion over pump price, subsidy as FG offtakes Dangote petrol. Confusion over pump price, subsidy as FG offtakes Dangote petrol. NNPC insists on 898 naira per liter, excluding associated costs. More details of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tinubu gives ministers 1,200 bags of rice each as palliative for distribution. Tinubu gives ministers 1,200 bags of rice each as palliative for distribution. Full details of that story is on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Eid Malud, Tinubu greets Muslims as IGP orders security beef up. Eid Malud, Tinubu greets Muslims as IGP orders security beef up. More details of that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Edo Guba, state government alleges plan to withdraw Obaseki's security details. Edo Guba, state government alleges plan to withdraw Obaseki's security details. More details of that story is on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Telecom operators set to deactivate unlinked SIMs. Telecom operators are set to deactivate unlinked SIMs as deadline expires. More details of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Bank sack 49 as fraud-related losses spike by 9,004% in quarter 2. Bank sacks 49 as fraud-related losses spiked by 9,004% in quarter 2. news. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Obasanjo meets with IBB Abdusalam Guzau in Mina. Full details of that story is on page 30, talking about Obasanjo meeting with IBB Abdusalam Guzau in Mina. Details of that story is on page 30, once again, of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Maiduguri flood. Federal government releases pictures of 281 fleeing inmates, captures 7. More details of that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then we have this one still from the Guardian newspaper saying synagogue building collapse. Group laments non-prosecution of indictees at 10th anniversary. Full details of that story is on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Very quickly, let's check the Punch newspaper, which is the last paper we'll be checking this morning. As the banner headline here says, petrol price, Dangote, NNPC, differ as refinery supplies 16 million liters. Petrol price, Dangote, NNPC, differ as refinery supplies 16 million liters. That's to the stories as some riders here saying marketers await price after Dangote encounters NNPC on 898 naira per liter PMS. Declares alleged for sale monopoly. More details of that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. NCOs contacts Interpol over 281 Borno fleeing inmates. NCOs contacts Interpol over 281 Borno fleeing inmates. Full details of that story could be gotten on page 8 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And we have this one saying omoluwabi. Tinubu governors urge prayers for peace, unity. Omoluwabi. Tinubu governors urge prayers for peace, unity. Full details of that story is on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning. 2027, Wike's loyalists move against Fubara's second-term bid. 2027, Wike's loyalists move against Fubara's second-term bid. More details of that story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And stay from the Punch newspaper. The Labour Party, Abure sues INEC over caretaker ESCO. Labour Party, Abure sues INEC over caretaker ESCO. I can get full details of that story on page 8 of the Punch newspaper this morning. I was rescued from collapsed Edo building, landlord's daughter. Speaking there, you can get full details of that story on page 5, pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. NIM SIM linkage, telcos begin disconnection as deadline ends. NIM SIM linkage, telcos begin disconnection as deadline ends. More details of that story on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's talk about the Edo poll. Right here on the front on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning, saying APC, PDP clash over rigging plots on Wike's cousin as wreck. APC, PDP clash over rigging plots on Wike's cousin as wreck. That's talking about the Edo poll. Full details of that story is on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. That's all we have from the Punch newspaper this morning, and also from the newspaper's headlines this morning. Very quickly, before we go into the review, I have my analyst in the studios already who will be paying, would love to pay some bills now. And then when we come back, Newslands will continue right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Do not forget we are streaming live on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM is the Facebook handle. Just go there and watch us live and drop your comments this morning. We'll be back after this short time out.
My Sabi people, how una dey? Na Sabi people dey listen to Sabi Radio. Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM, na dem be Sabi Radio.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, made with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger-grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Break time is crunch time, so give your champs this delicious crunchy delight to keep them winning all day. Milo and a snacks, snack of future champions.
Hello?
Hello there. I'm at the hospital right now because the kills are seriously ill. I've been on a long queue and the doctor is here to attend to me. I don't know what to do again.
You know what? How about the numbers I gave you while leaving?
Oh, the e-doctor numbers?
Yes.
Call them right away. They will attend to you immediately.
Hello?
Darling, just like magic. Junior is playing. Even Princess is eating like an adult.
You know I've told you to calm down. Our family is covered with eDokita Premium Plan. With eDokita, you have access to healthcare at your fingertips. Stop wasting your productive hours while waiting in the clinic for doctor. Subscribe today to any of eDokita plans and enjoy online chat and call consult, laser therapy, medical outreach, and home care services. Simply dial 0704-714-2000 or 0701-000-8670. Log on to www.edokita.com or visit us at eDokita, number 2 Ocean Street, New Bodija, Ibadan. eDokita, inspiring wellness.
Hello, greet everybody for you.
My Sabi people, how una dey? Na Sabi people they listen to Sabi Radio. Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM, na dem Sabi Radio.
The voice of integrity, omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
Alright, you're welcome back. Still News Lens right here on Omoluwabi. It is 7.7 FM, and like I said before we went on that break, I told you that we'll be checking some of the headlines and then we review them together. Yes, when I say together, I mean me plus you and the analysts in the studios this morning. When the time comes, we open the phone lines for you to join the conversation. And you also get to drop your comment on Facebook this morning. We are streaming live on Facebook this morning at Omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. You can go right away to drop your comments as regards some of the things we'll be discussing on the show this morning. All right, this morning I have with me in the studio Professor Wale Akinyemi. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning. Good morning to our listeners around the world.
And of course, I have Comrade Omoju with me in the studio.
Many thanks for having me and happy holiday to Nigerians.
Okay, happy holiday to Nigerians. Let's start with this as regards the issue of petrol. The petrol issue is still trending right here in Nigeria because there's been a lot of development and there are some controversies around that development as we speak. Talking about petrol from Dangote and NNPCL bickering over the price of petrol this morning. We have this one on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper saying petrol scarce supply. NNPCL, Dangote refinery disagree over pricing. And the story has some riders here say 898 naira per litre based on crude imported in dollars that's coming from Dangote. NNPC lifts 16.8 million litres out of 25 million litres. Independent marketers feel left out. We are lifting 16.8 million litres at 898 naira per litre. That's coming from NNPC. NNPC portal closure denies us access to Dangote petrol. That's coming from the oil marketers there. And we have this one saying we look forward to lifting it if price is right. Depot owners are speaking there. And Dangote refinery to meet domestic demand. That's coming from experts. And then this one says Dangote refinery petrol supply to NNPC will eliminate queues. That's coming from Otedola. Lagos State government begins implementation of e-call up on Lekki Ekpe Port Corridor. That's full details of that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper talking about the issue of petrol this morning. And then Guardian also reports something in that light saying confusion over pump price subsidy as federal government takes Dangote petrol. NNPC insists on 898 naira per litre excluding associated costs. Full details of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. The Punch also reports same thing but in a different way. Saying Dangote NNPC differ as refinery supply 16 million litres. Says marketers await price after Dangote counters NNPC on 898 naira per litre PMS. Dealers allege for says monopoly. Full details of that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Professor Wale Akinyemi. Nigerians were happy when they heard that petrol is ready for supply by Dangote refinery. But then, at some point, the NNPC came on board and said 898 naira. That's the amount. That's the price Dangote is selling to us. But then NPC, Dangote came out and said that we are not selling petrol to you at 8.98. They said it's based on the dollar, the FX issue and then the likes like that. Like they said, like it's reported in the front page of the Vanguard newspaper saying that this morning, saying 8.98 naira per liter is based on crude imported in dollars. Before the Dangote refinery started buying crude, just before the federal government gave the directive that they should start selling to them in naira, Dangote refinery had bought crude oil in dollars. So they are saying the ones they are selling now is based on the crude oil they imported in dollars. But then the NNPC is saying Dangote is selling at 8.98 naira, and then probably Nigerians will have to buy at around 1,000 naira. Maybe that's the price. Professor Wole Akinyemi, what's your take on this?
Thank you very much. Happy Hide Mulud to our Muslim faithfuls. I will use a very, very simple analogy for Nigerians to understand what the game is. And I want us to think of a father that has a manufacturing company, and he has the son to manage this company, and this son managed this company until the company almost folded up. Now there is an outsider that now took over this company and was able to put it back on stream. And then the company now starts producing, manufacturing again. And now this son now insists that he must be the one that will do the distribution of the product. The son that has failed, that collapsed that system in the first place. That is the kind of situation that you have with NNPC and Dangote. And it is most unfortunate. NNPC is a big albatross on Nigeria, and because the economy of Nigeria is oil based, everything, the inefficiency of NNPC is rubbing off on every sector of the economy. And I don't know why any government will allow this kind of shenanigan to continue, because everything NNP has ever done is been shrouded in secrecy. Okay, they've just started. First, they were reluctant to lift oil from Dangote. Now that they have lifted the oil, there is price differential. They are saying one price, Dangote is refuting. I mean, the process we are talking about is not even a week hold, and you already have this kind of thing, this kind of scenario. And you recall that it was on this platform that I said that the objective, because these people are so predictable, that the objective is 1,000 naira. They want to sell fuel to Nigeria for 1,000 naira per liter. So the whole idea of NNPC coming up to say 898 is how much they're lifting from Dangote is for them to say that they have added their own cost, and by the time it is now delivered to Nigerians at the filling station, it will probably be 1,000 naira per liter or even more. And let me tell you, all of this scarcity that we have experienced in the past 1 month is artificial scarcity created by despicable people in the system, all geared towards that objective of 1,000 naira per liter. All of these people have conspired against Nigerians, and it is most unfortunate. It is so regrettable. Okay, they are talking about market forces. If it is market forces that wants to play out, why should they give that monopoly to NNPC? Shouldn't they also allow the private people to buy directly from Dangote and then sell at the price that is convenient for them? Is that not a way of bringing down the price? Now we are back to where we are now, because what is the whole essence of having Dangote refinery now in the system when the product their price is practically seized by the same NNPC that has been our problem, and they are now the ones that are now people that cannot produce a drop of oil with all the millions of dollars that they have spent on turnaround maintenance of our 3 refineries. They are now the people that are now presiding over the prices of fuel in Nigeria. It is most unfortunate, and if you know how the path we have taken to this part, you will see that everything about it is so sad and unfortunate. First, they said the petrol was not of international standard. Secondly, there are the issue of pricing and the rest of it. Thirdly, they were not going to supply Dangote with crude. And Dangote was able to surmount all of these things. Now we have gotten to this point now, and they have now opened their face, and we now know the people that we are really dealing with. Let me be very, very honest. NNPC is the problem of Nigeria.
Interesting one there. Coming to Moju, your reaction to that? NNPC and Dangote, they buy carrying at this time, saying now with NNPC saying they bought the petrol landing cost of a liter of petrol is 898 naira. Dangote is saying a different thing, and Nigerians are saying what is going on. We expected to probably as soon as the petrol hits markets, NNPC probably will start selling at 1,000 naira per liter. What's your take on this?
Even at the moment, is it not 1,000 plus in some quarters? So, what are we talking about? If you get to one major, I don't want to mention the brand now, one major filling station here in Ibadan, in Nigeria, is 900. Some other people will sell 1,001. I bought 1,001. So, invariably, that is where we are heading. But I still need some clarification regarding this crude of 18. Did Dangote get crude from the Nigerian government, or he too went outside of this country to import?
There are a lot of drama regarding that situation, because at some point Dangote came out and said that he's not getting crude from Nigeria, that you have to look elsewhere to get crude. And at some point Dangote said the crude is getting from Nigeria is buying it in dollars, before the president intervened and said they start selling crude to Dangote in naira.
Okay.
All of this put together. Then you ask the question, Dangote is a businessman. He wants to make profits.
Sure.
Definitely if he buys crude at so price, he wants to make his profits.
Yeah, sure.
So what?
If that is the case, maybe we should just allow him phase out the one that he bought in dollar. Then the implementation of the one he's supposed to be buying in naira will now come to place. Maybe afterwards we can now know exactly the price that he can sell to Nigerians. But be that as it may, the statement made by Otedola saying it will disappear queues on the street or whatever, that is not even the main focus. It's not just to disappear queues, because I don't expect it to be highly responsible of any government that after buying petrol as high as this, we are still queuing up in filling stations. So what I expected, or what I'm still expecting, is a reduction in the price of petrol, because a reduction in the price of petrol will surely have some positive impact on prices of commodities, because indeed it has heightened the inflation that was already bad, especially in the last 3 weeks. So the issue of removing queues, that's not, we are talking about having a friendly, competitive pump price for Nigerian people. That is just so. In my view, I think we should allow him. I don't know where he got the crude from. Just as you said, the whole thing shrouded in secrecy. Let him phase out the one that he bought in dollar. So when he starts buying in naira, then we now know where we go from there.
Interesting one there. All right, I wanted to listen to someone, the Minister of Information, is talking about the issue of pricing and the issue of Dangote lifting petrol, selling out petrol at this point, and then saying it's a win for Nigerians, and then talking about how the prices it will affect pricing in Nigeria. Let's take a good listen to Mr. Wale Edun this morning, talking about the price of petrol this morning.
We congratulate all involved. Alhaji Aliko Dangote of Dangote Refinery and Petrochemical Company, NNPC, led by the group CEO, Mr. Mele Kyari, and even all on the side of the federal government of Nigeria, the Ministry of Finance, the chairman of FIRS. We congratulate everybody for having brought us this far. And I think what Nigerians can look forward to is energy security, energy sufficiency, and as we look forward, we can also look at the issue of cost. What we're expecting that as this refinery and even others as they ramp up production, ramp up scale, and achieve greater economies of scale, there should be the opportunity, and there is definitely the potential to reduce their costs, which should pass on to the consumer. So we have to give them a chance. They have just started. They have done very, very well. It's a triumph, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. It's a triumph for Mr. President over and above anything else. But it's also a very good day for Nigerians.
All right, that was Mr. Wale Edun speaking there. Professor Wale Akinyemi, you want to react to that?
Well, the coordinating minister of the economy, Mr. Wale Edun, he reserves the right to congratulate all those politically exposed persons. Maybe they are the people that deserve the congratulation. I don't know whether what Nigerians have to celebrate, or whether Nigerians deserve that kind of congratulation for worsening, increasing poverty, making life unbearable. Go and see the way people have been queuing in the filling stations for so long, and then they are buying this product at very, very expensive. This morning, go and see the street of Ibadan. You can almost count the number of vehicles that are on the road. At times I begin to ask whether the people that are leading us, whether they are leading in Nigeria or they are living in another planet. Because these things are there. The inefficiency is all around us. You can see it. And like saying, using the word congratulation, I congratulate Nigerians, it's a mockery as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing to congratulate Nigerians about. They have made our situation worse.
Interesting one there. Okomidomoji, you want to react?
Yes. Before we listen to that clip, I mentioned the issue of cost, which he actually mentioned, because sincerely speaking, that is the crux of the matter. Cost, which we expect to invariably impact positively on the Nigerian market and the inflation rate. Now, coming to him, I think is a big slap. I want to be mild with my words. Is a big slap on the nation called Nigeria, the most popular black nation in the world, to now depend on an individual who is running his private business for us to survive.
Maybe this will open doors for other individuals too.
With all these shenanigans. Now, Dangote has been a big beneficiary of successive government. Maybe that is what gave him the, impetus, the prowess to venture into that sector. Others may not want to try, not because they don't have the capacity, but because of some of these, shrouded thing in secrecy. So they may shy away from, so let me not go there and, waste my investment. The question we should be asking now, especially the coordinating minister of the economy, is what is happening? What are you guys doing concerning our own refineries? We have one in Kaduna, we have Warri and Port Harcourt, and none is functioning. And all you can now sit down to say is, Nigerians, we congratulate you because one individual who is doing his private business has started something for us. It's a big slap on a nation called Nigeria. We should all, the advocacy group, the peer pressure, we should begin to ask questions concerning what has happened to the moribund refineries that we have in the country. If at least, if it's just one of these refineries that we are about to commission now, and he's now congratulating us, I'll say, kudos to him. But an individual is doing his business, and that's what you are now expecting all of us to now be, shouting about.
Interesting one there. All right, let's move on this one. Let's check some other story. Let's go to Edo State, where PDP and APC are currently in its face-off as we speak. Edo PDP, APC, biker over alleged planned removal of Obaseki's security. And then someone is speaking here, and this person of Anyoku saying international community watching INEC. Others, any manipulation will cause exodus of Nigerians to Europe. The PDP is saying there, and they want EU to prevail on INEC. Others to respect will of electorate. When I hear stories like this, calling the EU to come and prevail over INEC, over Nigeria's internal crisis. It baffles me, Professor Wole Akinyemi. The issue going on in Edo State, the PDP refused to sign the peace pact last week. And then the PDP is alleging again that APC is trying to they are making some moves to withdraw the security details of the governor of Edo State, and then they are calling on EU to come and intervene in our own internal crisis. Professor Wole Akinyemi, what's your take on this?
We call Nigeria the giant of Africa. We call Nigeria the most populous African black nation. And things happened, and then we are now asking our colonizers to come back and rescue us. Is it not laughable? Yet we say that we are an independent nation. And with one hand, we are saying they want to assert our independence, our sovereignty. With the other one, we are saying no, we are kids. We have not been weaned. We are still taking baby's milk. They shouldn't give us solid food. So I'm tired of all of these contradictions. The absolute truth of the matter is that no foreign country can love Nigeria more than Nigerians. And the moment we begin to say we are asking all of these people to come and intervene in our internal affairs, we are not ready to grow. Look at what is happening in small Burkina Faso since Captain Traore took over in that place. I'm not saying that the military regime is good, though, so people will not misunderstand me. What I'm trying to say is that leadership, we are talking about leadership. Look at the kind of sacrificial leadership that is going on in that place. Look at all the money that they have spent on SUV and luxuries for people in government and the rest of it. They have deployed it to mechanization of farms, mechanized farms to develop their country. They have nationalized their solid mineral companies. And Burkina Faso, if you go and check it now, is one of the countries that is growing very, very fast. So these things are very, very clear, the things that we need to do. And when you now begin to ask our people, they say, what is happening in Edo, let me tell you, is because of fear of federal might. And let me tell you, if PDP were to be the one having the president, we will still have exactly the same situation. It's a problem of our culture, the way we do things. Winner takes it all kind of tendency. All of us are just pretending that we are Democrats. The absolute truth of the matter is that our people are very, very autocratic, very, very dictatorial. So why are they even saying in the first place that they want to withdraw the security of a Edo State governor? If they are saying that, that means that they are it's a lie when they now call the governor the chief security officer of state. That means that they are just mocking them. So honestly, we need to sit down and rejiggle the entire thing. We are living a lie in Nigeria.
Interesting one there. Kamido Moji, you want to react quickly to that, talking about the PDP and APC biker over alleged planned removal of Obaseki security details. And then many Nigerians are saying international forces are looking, they are watching, they are observing closely, and then anything can just spark up we don't want any kind of unrest at this time. But then what baffles me most is the PDP calling on the European Union to come and prevail over INEC. And I'm asking the question, Nigeria as a sovereign nation, do we need external forces to come and deal with our to come help us settle our internal affairs?
I think what that statement simply implies is that the system has failed and cannot be trusted, and that is why the individual making that statement, is saying that, which is most unfortunate. Because when you look at the issue surrounding INEC is one of the most untrusted government agency in Nigeria. Their actions sometimes are very funny. Sometimes they bring issue of technicalities, bringing issue of law, and just to create some confusion. And so one happened in Imo State, which actually worsened the political landscape of that place. Now, but by and large, I still want to believe that power is still with the people, whether we like it or not. The more, the merrier. It happened even in Edo State before. On a good day, the like of Oshiomhole wouldn't have become the governor of that state, if not for the resilience of the people, that this is the person that we want. It also happened in the case of Ondo State between Mimiko and the late Agagu. You know, on a good day, Mimiko worked under Agagu, I think, as secretary. And at that time, he too felt unpopular among the people. And on a very, let me put it this way, an underdog, Labour Party at that time, he rose from that platform and won the election as governor. Why? Because the people still felt we will give you this mandate. The same thing happened in Osun State, Oyinlola versus Aregbesola, that led to what we have when we cannot have election at the same time now. It went to court, and the court gave him the mandate because the people truly said this is the person that we want. So I want to urge the people of Edo State, they know who they truly want. Forget about the shenanigans of INEC. If at some point when INEC see the weight behind a particular candidate and individual, their hands are tied to do any form of rigging. So I encourage the people of Edo State, with all the whatever, stand behind the candidate that you feel will take you to the next level, whether this or that. But traditionally, that state is for the PDP. But I don't know whether the status quo will change now.
Traditionally, in what sense? Coming to Moju, the APC has ruled that state for around around 12 years. As a matter of fact, this current governor came in on the platform of the APC. This current governor, Adam Oshiomhole, ruled Edo State for 8 years.
Adam Oshiomhole did not come on the platform of APC to Edo State. Labour.
Adam Oshiomhole came on the platform of Labour.
Yes. Professor, am I?
Yes, he later on converted to
APC. But that's what I'm saying. That that one has to do with his own political selfishness. But the party on which he rose to power is not APC.
But then he won the second time bid through APC.
Fine, because of federal might and what have you.
And then this current governor, as we speak, is an APC person. Okay. Was an APC man. He came in through APC. So if you say traditionally, the APC, Edo State belongs to PDP.
Yeah, traditionally, when you look at
probably because that means to say traditionally, Nigeria belongs to the PDP because PDP has ruled Nigeria more.
Not Nigeria belongs. I'm not saying Nigeria belongs to. There are certain sector of the country that this is what for instance, the southeast usually, except on some pocket of cases, you have them. This is where they are going. This is the part that they are voting for, including some south. Until recently, when we now began to see some funny, things playing out because of some political selfishness, some candidates from that quarters. So, in my view, this is the sentiment. Their sentiment is still towards this party, whether we like it or not. But the most important thing is, let's look at individual candidates now. The one that you feel will do you good, go for him.
All right, sir. So that's to the people of Edo State, in case any of them is listening. The one that you feel is a good candidate for you, go for him. All right, we need to pay some bills now. When we return, we'll pick your calls and we'll read your comment on Facebook. This morning, the studio lines are open. I want you to drop your comment also on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. We'll be back after this short time out.
Fresh news, best talk, hot music, where else?
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
I will show you. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 naira, while Super Pack is now 350 naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
In any emergency, every second counts. The Nigerian Communications Commission brings you the 112 emergency toll-free line, available nationwide, anytime, any day, absolutely free. With just 3 simple digits, 112, help is on the way. Dial from any network at any time. No charges, just immediate response. Remember, the 112 toll-free line directly connects to emergency services. If you need the police, fire service, ambulance services, Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigeria Civil Defense Corps, and more. Because when it comes to saving lives, we're all in this together at NCC. NCC, connecting Nigeria.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. You need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Stay in power, you find it all in peak. Every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. And the peak goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak Protein Breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Alright, you're welcome back. It's still Newslands right here on Omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. And then right about now, we want to receive your calls. The studio lines are open. 07047007999. 07047007999. You can also call us on 08053888933. 08053888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. You can also drop your comments on Facebook this morning at Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. That's the Facebook handle this morning. All right, let's see who is here. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where are you calling us from? All right, do well to call us back. The studio lines are still open. 07047 007999 07047 007999. You can also call us on 08053888933. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from? All right, sir. You can do or to call the other line 07047 007999. 07047 007999. That's the line to call this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Bossa calling from Ibadan.
All right, please make your point.
Thank you, sir. As touching this fuel scarcity and the increase in price that we have been experiencing lately, it's just funny that just this morning again we had another news that Dangote said they will be selling at 890 something naira, and yet we still at the end of the newsletter it said that it will be sold in dollars. So, which is obvious to us that dollars is not worth 1,000, but over 1,000 naira now. So they should stop this. The federal government and Dangote should stop deceiving us. And I want to urge the federal government to please, if they cannot make refinery available for us, with the fact that we have 4 moribund refineries that they've been deceiving us, that they've been investing billions of naira on, and yet there is no result for it. They should please sell these moribund refineries and even privatize the oil sector. Just the way we have the telecommunication sector that is being privatized now. We're enjoying communication in Nigeria. They should privatize the oil sector, and then we should begin to enjoy what we own. It's not like we don't have crude oil in Nigeria, but yes, we are the ones suffering. We have now become It's not fair, and they should do the needful. The economy is in shambles, and they should do the needful and make the oil sector something that should be remarkable. Power sector is something to write home about. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a part of the program. All right, you two can join the conversation this morning. 07047 7999 08047007999. That's the studio lines to call. You can also call us on 08053888933. 08053888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. Okay, let's see who is here. Hello, good morning. All right, so we lost our call there. You can do what to call us back. The studio lines are still open. Drop your comment on Facebook too at omoluwabi the 7.7 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you calling us from?
This is Ruth calling from Alakia.
All right, please make your point.
Thank you, sir. The hike in petrol price is really biting us hard, and the price of commodities are now unbearable. So we even thought maybe the Dangote refinery, so that when it starts rolling out, the price will really be different. But it's really shown that there is no end in sight for this. But I'll just urge the federal government, they should please just allow our refineries to work, most especially the Port Harcourt refinery. And it's our children, it will even affect our children the more, because they are resuming back to school tomorrow. So what would be the fate of we parents now? They should please do the needful. And I will urge Oyo State government to should please roll out more Mississippi buses, because it's really leaving us as transportation is concerned. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being a part of the program this morning. Now let's take some comment on Facebook this morning. Uyumi Stephen is saying good morning. Good morning to you too. And this one is coming from Emmanuel Chuku saying beautiful morning to you, Mr. Tayo. Happy New Week. When are we going to start buying petrol at 160 naira per liter? I don't know that. Probably it will take days for the right authorities to come out. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
I'm Reverend Rodola.
All right, Reverend Rodola, welcome to the program.
I want to use this opportunity to tell federal government that let them sell moribund NMPC, because there's no solution. Let them sell it, privatize it, instead of deceiving Nigerians. Let God call a spade a spade. Nigerians are sovereign. Under Tinubu, he's the head of, but accountability depends on the head of the government. It's okay.
Thank you very much, Reverend Rodola, for sharing your thoughts this morning. Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook is saying good morning and more divine grace to everyone in the studio. Allegation and counter-allegation from NNPC and Dangote Refinery really seems federal governments of today and NNPCL are brainwashing Nigerians with deceit, misinformation and lack of political will to alleviate to the agonies of millions of Nigerians we're facing since the removal of this first subsidies since then till now. May we never lose real hope. Okay, that's coming from Sulaiman Sharif. Boss Ade Favor is saying beautiful morning to everyone in the studio. Be that your APC and WK like it or not, the fact remains that Governor Makinde is people's governor, and we the good people of Oyo State are not regretting of having him. Okay, that's your own thoughts there. Okay, let's check some other comments right here on Facebook this morning. This one is coming from Boluwatife Adejuwon, saying good morning. As regards the problems associated with fuel scarcity and hike in price, it's a pity that even after commencement of Dangote Refinery, there has been no relief. But I will urge the president to please look for ways to lessen the problems, and I will urge the governor to please roll out more Mitutum buses so that students will benefit from it as they resume back to school, because I heard it's free for students. Okay, that's from Abosede Boluwatife Adejuwon there. Okay, that's all we'll be able to take on Facebook this morning. I sincerely appreciate everyone for being a part of the program this morning. Okay, it's Professor Wale Akinyemi. Thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
And of course, Komido Moji, thank you very much for being a part of the program.
Many thanks for having me.
All right, up next is Sports Brief with Jonathan Ibileke. I'll be taking us into the world of sports, and then after which Kakakiro will be coming on board. Till tomorrow, where you join me again, 7 a.m. is the time. My name is Oluwatayo Ajiwole, urging you to please take a good care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.